Breeding goats for best results requires a thoughtful and strategic approach to just ensure the health and productivity of the herd. Whether you are a seasoned breeder or just starting out, achieving the best breeding results involves careful planning, proper management, and a commitment to continuous improvement. In this video, we'll explore key considerations and practices that contribute to maximizing breeding success in a goat herd. And you are the biggest factor in this entire scenario. Are you willing to learn everything you can about conformation and what makes the breed you choose the very best it can be? Are you willing to spend the time needed with your goats so that you know how they operate and what they think and when they are sick? Are you willing to do the hard things and make the hard decisions that will make your herd better each year you breed? Are you willing to have all necessary supplies and medications on hand and have the knowledge to use them when needed? If you're willing to do all of that, then keep on watching. The first thing to think about is the selection of the proper location and its setup. If you are established in your home, in your farm, and in your area, you most likely won't uproot your entire life to live in the perfect conditions for your goat. Goats do live best in very dry climates. The biggest reason for this is because worms do not do well in dry climates. Join any group on Facebook and you will see that many people living in areas that are very wet and humid and hot are dealing with health issues and health problems in their goat herd. The barber pole worm will be your dreaded enemy if you live in a hot, humid climate, and pneumonia will always be lurking. But I do not agree with producers who say that you can't raise goats successfully unless it's Africa or southern Texas. I know this personally because I'm raising a herd of goats successfully in the heart of Montana. Do the winters bring challenges? Yes. But after 12 years of raising goats here, they are acclimated and do just fine. In your current setting, then, you need to be able to look at your surroundings and make wise decisions and set things up as best as possible for your goats. Goats need to be out of the weather, including the wind and the snow and the rain. They do need to have adequate protection from predators. A goat I sold to someone a while back actually got eaten by a bear. So yes, these things do happen. If you have bears, coyotes, mountain lions, panthers, or even just the random dog that runs through your neighborhood, then you do need adequate protection for your goats. And they do need to have enough room so they aren't in overcrowded conditions. I have some goat shelters and pens set up and even fencing ideas on my channel here and on my website that you can look at. You will also need to continually monitor their health so that you can keep their worm load under control. Some producers will tell you that you need many acres of free-range access and forage for your goats to be healthy. But my goats do not get that privilege, and our area doesn't even grow grass for 8 months out of the year. So I supplement with hay for most of the year. Now we need to think about the selection of your breeding stock. Begin with selecting high-quality breeding stock. Look for goats that have desirable traits such as good conformation and strong genetics and proven reproductive performance. Consider the specific goals of your breeding program, whether it's for meat production or dairy production or fiber or any other characteristics that you are choosing for your breeding animals, and breed accordingly. The third thing to consider is health screening. So before you initiate the breeding process, you need to conduct thorough health screenings on both the male and the female goats. Ensure that they are free from any infectious disease and parasites or any other health issue that might come up. Healthy breeding stock significantly increases the likelihood of successful reproduction and improves the overall vitality of the entire herd. Don't ever overlook or dismiss nutrition and conditioning. Optimal nutrition is essential. It's a cornerstone of successful breeding. Provide a balanced diet that meets the needs and the nutritional needs of your goats, paying particular attention to key vitamins and minerals that are essential for goat reproduction. Ensure that your breeding stock is in good body condition, as both underweight and overweight conditions can impact their fertility. Goats need top quality nutrition and won't thrive on low quality or stemmy hay, and they won't even eat stemmy hay. They must know that it's not good for them. They have a really fast metabolism, and access to high quality feed is really important. This hay I'm feeding right now is triticale hay. They won't eat the stems on this, but they will eat the ends of it. So I am feeding a half grass hay and half this hay at this moment, and then every day, every time I feed them, I'm cleaning out the stems and giving the stems to the pigs. So the next one is choosing the appropriate breeding season. Understanding natural breeding seasons is really critical and important to your breeding plan, and you need to plan accordingly. While some breeds may breed year-round, a lot of them do follow a seasonal breeding pattern. So timing the breeding to align with the natural reproduction cycle of your goats will actually help you have a more successful breeding program. And you want to breed for seasons that won't make kidding difficult. Several years ago, I remember producers across the state of Montana lamenting about their February kidding. It was the worst that they'd ever had in losses because of very cold and very severe weather snap that killed many of those born. Cold and wet kids do not do well, no matter how good of a mother is present. For this reason, I will not kid during January and February, or even March, and I still have to be vigilant when I have kids in April and May. Another important factor is the buck-to-doe ratio. Maintain an appropriate buck-to-doe ratio to avoid overworking the bucks and to ensure that does receive sufficient attention during the breeding season. A ratio of 1 buck to 25 to 30 does is generally recommended for efficient breeding without causing undue stress. Now, many of us don't have that many goats. I don't know why, but so we're automatically good on that ratio, most likely. Also become good at observing estrus signs. So when the breeding season comes, be vigilant in observing signs of estrus in does. This includes changes in their behavior, becoming more vocal, and just a willingness to be mounted by other goats. Timely detection of estrus allows for precise breeding and timing of that, which increases the chances of conception. And when you know the breeding dates, you can document them in your record-keeping binder, like my goat binder, and be just adequately prepared when they kid. Which leads me to the next area to consider, which is record-keeping. Maintain detailed records of your breeding dates, outcomes, and health information. Accurate record keeping aids in identifying successful breeding pairs. It tracks the gestation period and evaluates just the overall reproductive performance of your herd. These records are invaluable for making informed breeding decisions in the future. Most producers don't keep good records. If you do, you will be a step ahead. Remember, your main objective is to breed offspring that is better than the parents. And you can't do this unless you've kept good records and are analyzing the data from every goat you own and produce. Get the best record-keeping system out there, My Goat Finder, which is linked in this video. Now let's talk about genetic diversity. Avoid excessive inbreeding by introducing new genetics into the herd. Genetic diversity contributes to the overall health and vigor of your herd, which reduces the risk of hereditary disorders and promotes desirable traits. But remember, you have to make careful selections of breeding stock, as mentioned in our second point in this video. Veterinary care may be a life-saving factor as well, so establish a relationship with a knowledgeable veterinarian who specializes in goat care. Regular health checkups and vaccinations if you choose, and timely intervention in the case of reproductive issues also contributes to the overall well-being of your breeding herd. But also remember, you are very blessed if you can find a vet in your area that is knowledgeable about goats. In many areas, it is very difficult to find someone who actually knows the intricate details about them, so choose wisely. Achieving the best breeding results in a goat herd requires a holistic and proactive approach. By focusing on the selection of quality breeding stock, maintaining optimal health in your herd and nutrition and breeding practices, as well as keeping meticulous records, breeders you can enhance the overall success and sustainability of your goat herd and your goat breeding program. Consistent monitoring, adaptability, and a commitment to continuous improvement are key elements in ensuring a thriving and productive goat herd.